everybody. Welcome to the Yinzer Brothers podcast. I am TJ and here with my brother Tim, and we are the Yinzer Bros. Today is the Steelers-Browns post-game show. The Browns beat our beloved Pittsburgh Steelers unbelievably 48-37. The Steelers season is done. This was an ugly game. Tim, what are your initial thoughts of the debacle that happened Sunday night?
Hello, darkness, my old friend. Until we meet again. It
was so bad.
Sound of sad.
And you know what's worse? I got to watch more Baker Mayfield commercials now. Doggone it. I hate those things. I hate them.
TJ, blow up everything. Fire everybody. Get the hell out of town.
It was a bad game. It was a terrible game.
Bad game?
Yeah.
TJ, that may be worse than the Tebow game.
Yeah, I think you're right.
No, I'm 100% right,
Oh,
TJ.
You are. Yeah, you are. It was bad from the start. From that first chuck over Ben's head by Pouncey.
Two components of that play. How do you snap a ball over a dude that's like 6'11"?
That's true.
And then the other component of the play, how does neither Connor or Ben just fall on the ball?
I don't know. That was terrible.
Were they afraid their brittle ass bones were just going to break if they jumped on the ball?
I think that's what it was. I think it was bad.
I'm so sick of this whole team. Where would you like to start?
It's bad.
I mean,
well, let's start the offense. Let's talk the game, and we'll talk about what it means to rebuild. The offense was, I know we put up 37 points, but dude, we turned the ball over five times.
We put up 37 points because they were running. TJ, I mean, they were running a zone that was, I mean,
they were in prevent defense since halfway through the first quarter. They were in prevent defense.
I mean, get the hell out of Dodge.
Well, so let's talk about Ben. What did you think of Ben?
No, can we start? I don't even want to start. Let's start before the game, TJ. Yeah. I said it last time. I'm going to say it again. I don't care. People were saying, "Oh, is the media making a big?" No, TJ, Juju, just shut up. Just shut up. TJ, you can't tell me that didn't give Cleveland any extra juice.
I'm sure that it did.
TJ, they're making shirts that say the Browns are the Browns with orange Corvettes on it. Making fun of him. They're signing autographs. And now you got Claypool acting like an idiot. Just shut up, dude. Just shut up.
You won't have to worry about Juju. He won't be here next year.
I'm done.
You think he'll be here next year?
TJ, I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, there's a million. At first, I'm kind of going, we'll get into what I think they're going to do. But offensively,
what do you think of Ben? Ben, I mean, he had 4 picks. I mean, that ball over his head's not his fault.
He had 4 picks. I think a couple of them, I'm always taught the batted passes. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's because of the offense, a stupid quick game. But I understand if some passes are behind receivers. I'm always taught if hit your hands, you catch it. A couple of those picks hit people's hands and tips off. Catch the ball. Just catch the ball. I mean, dude, TJ, he was Ben. He sucked.
47 for 68 attempts. He threw the ball almost 70 times.
I mean, you
for 500 yards.
What did you want? I mean, I loved how Fitcher just came out like it was. You know what killed me? This is what drove me even more bananas. The first play that they snapped over the head, it was going to be run to Connor. They didn't even change the damn play when they got the ball back. That was the same play that they were going to run when they snapped. Is Fitcher a moron with his first 15?
Yeah, I think he's pretty bad.
I'm sick of him. He can go. TJ, Ben was bad. You can't throw 4 interceptions. But if you have some world-class defense, like top 5 defense you're supposed to have, I don't care where they put it. A couple of those, you got to hold people to field goals.
Mhm.
And they didn't. They ran it right down their throat.
They did. It was we were terrible on every aspect of the game. We were bad.
They had dudes like me playing on their line.
I know.
I,
They were inspired.
You should be absolutely in K-word,
To it.
Alua. I told
They
you
look terrible.
I told you Spillane would come back to bite us, bite me, rip my heart out at some point. TJ, he can't play in the NFL. He can play on special teams. He can't play linebacker. He can't cover anybody. And do I call that a defensive scheme thing? Yes, because 90% of the time he's on their number one, but he can't cover a tight end either. I don't understand why you saw him getting swallowed up. You're getting ran on. Williamson played like 3 plays.
Yeah.
Guess what? I mean, from everything that I'm hearing Coach T called the defense that game.
That's what I heard too.
I mean, again, you can beat Coach T, the drum for Coach T. Guess what? I've said it, and I've said it plenty of times. He's an overrated coach. He is. If he doesn't have Ben, he's not lasted as long as he did if he doesn't have Ben. Just this. He's not as good as Harbaugh. He's not as good as Peyton. I'll say that right now. He's not as. There's about 5 or 6 coaches, maybe 7, I would take above Tomlin. I'm. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, no, you're owed your opinion. Let me ask you a question. How about this? Let's say that the Steelers instead of drafting Ben, they drafted Phillip Rivers.
They're still going to suck.
Let me ask you a question. Does Phillip Rivers? He probably gets 2 rings, and is he a first ballot Hall of Famer if he's a Steeler?
Yeah.
So I think it's a little bit of both. I think it's
TJ. Those defenses were ungodly.
Yeah. Well,
Ben just didn't have to screw up. And most of those defenses that Tomlin had, they were cowards players. I'm sorry, I'll beat that drum. They were cowards players. What has Tomlin done in the past? TJ, he's won one playoff game in 10 years.
Yeah, it's been bad.
TJ, that is banana land.
Mm-hmm.
That has been. He won all of his playoff games with cowards players.
Yeah, well, sorry. But you still have to win. I get that.
But that's telling me you're putting out guys. It's like, how much of those guys you have to coach?
Yeah,
really.
I'm not ready to say that Harbaugh and these guys are better. You look at a guy like Lamar Jackson. They don't have Lamar Jackson. I watched the game on Sunday. Lamar Jackson won that by running around. He can't do that forever.
TJ, Baltimore.
That's not scheme.
TJ, Baltimore won a title, and they were always in the upper echelon with Joe Flacco as their quarterback. What did that say about your coach? They had a great defense, just like the Steelers. But would you take Joe Flacco or would you take Ben Roethlisberger?
Well, Flacco wasn't terrible that year. He wasn't like a TJ. He wasn't like a.
You put Ben Roethlisberger on those Raven teams, they're probably winning 3 or 4 championships.
You know what? I think we say that, but we got to remember this too. Ben is feast or famine. How many MVPs does Ben have?
None.
How many Super Bowl MVPs does he have?
None. He should have had 1.
I think here's our challenge. I think Ben has got a lot of records because he's been in the league for 17 flipping years. That's a big deal. Has he been a juggernaut all that time? No, he'll be a first ballot Hall of Famer. But this whole process of him, is he Brady? Absolutely not. He's not Brady. I mean, look at their stats. Is he Breeze? What does Peyton do without Breeze? We'll never know. We'll know in a couple of years when Peyton's gone, when Breeze is gone. I'll tell you what, Belichick, does he still look like the GOAT now?
TJ, I don't know, because when I saw Breeze go out last year and I saw Breeze go out this year, guess what? New Orleans kept winning.
So how many wins do they have in the playoffs this year? How many more are they going to have? Do they get to the title game?
I think they do. I think
no. The answer is no.
You don't think
the title game is going to be Tampa, and it's going to be probably Green Bay.
We'll see. I think New Orleans is going to beat them because New Orleans defense up in that dome, different ball game.
As much as I hate to say it, I think you're probably. I hope we're not seeing Tampa Bay in the Super Bowl, but to me they look like the most complete team in the NFC right now. They have a defense and they have an offense behind it too, don't they?
TJ, they didn't blow out Washington.
Dude, Breeze is like 150 years. Breeze doesn't Breeze look old?
He does look old. The difference is that defense in New Orleans is nasty. It's nasty.
Tampa's defense is nasty too.
It's okay, but TJ, they barely beat Washington with a guy like me playing quarterback.
I get it. Washington's got a pretty stout defense. I think
New Orleans defense is way better.
I think Tomlin is still a top 5 coach. I don't think you can find 5 that are better than him.
TJ, you're going to find what type of coach Tomlin is in the
when Ben's
upcoming
gone.
years. In the upcoming
I
years,
agree.
you're going to find out what type of coach he is.
I thought he did a great job last year at 8-8 with what he had to work with.
TJ, that defense played out of its mind last
year.
They did. You have the same defense.
And who built that defense?
They did, TJ. But what happened? It was the same defense this year. What happened?
Two key injuries: Bush and Dupree. You have Bush and Dupree in that defense. I think they're fine.
They ain't beating Cleveland with that performance they put up. They ain't beat them. They ain't beating them.
Again, I think we got tired. I think everything caught up with us. I'm not ready to.
There's no excuse to lose to that team. There's none.
I'll tell you what, the Cleveland team that I saw, and again, here's the challenge. We put up 37 points and we turned the ball over 5 times. Ben is responsible for 4 of those. I'm sorry. And even those passes, I understand the batted pass, that's a QB's responsibility. It is. Don't throw it into arms.
Ben played bad, but TJ, the biggest plays of the game, when you are clawing back into the game.
I get it.
You preach all year. You preach with your mumble crap and your Tomlinisms all year. We don't live in our fears. If I can't get a yard, we don't deserve to win. You punt the ball.
Yeah.
When you have every momentum in that whole entire game, Cleveland's not able to even remotely stop you. And how many times did you see in that game where it came down to a 3rd and 1, a 4th and 1? And guess what? Your stubborn ass can't dress Josh Dobbs. They haven't been able to do it all year. And you make the call not to do it in that game. The coaching, they were out coached by a team that had 1 day of practice. They were outplayed by a team that had 1 day of practice with half their defense, Cleveland's defense, and half their line didn't play. Something dramatic. I understand, Ben, your defense has to make, your all-world defense has to make a stop. Your rested defense has to make a stop. They couldn't.
No, I agree.
If it is true that Tomlin was calling the defenses and you're still the biggest, probably the second biggest play of the game, you have a linebacker, a slow linebacker locked up on Godson.
Yeah, I don't understand that. You have to make adjustments for that.
Call timeout. Say, no. This is one of the biggest plays of the game. I'm going to call timeout here.
And we don't know if Tomlin was making those calls or not. I mean, that's reality. But here's the difference, too. I'll tell you right now. I told you this earlier. Pouncey has looked terrible all year. He's going to retire. They manhandled him the whole game.
I don't think he's going
to retire. What do you do? That's what they're saying. They say he's going to retire.
One guy put that out. They retracted it, saying it. What I heard is that if we'll get into what they need to do later, but
if you don't have a center and your A gaps are uncovered, what happens?
TJ, I found it very weird that the first play of the game, he snaps it over their head, and I believe he looks like that was a bad snap, and he looked like he was snapping it to get over to cover for the guard that shouldn't have been playing. Filer. That tells me something mentally. He shouldn't have been playing. Why wasn't the kid that was a rookie that's been dominating for weeks?
I don't know.
I don't get it. I don't get it. Though?
I watched the game and I watched him get pushed back. He looked like he was on roller skates all night. He looked awful.
The whole line looked like it, TJ.
Yeah, but he specifically looked absolutely terrible.
Did you see 71?
I did. He looked bad too.
Penalties. He was. I don't understand. Why wouldn't you make the change in the game?
I don't know. I tell you what, they looked.
That offensive line coach needs to go.
He does. And the offensive line, they looked old. That's what they looked like to me. They looked old in a few spots. He looked awful. I think it's just time. I think you come to terms with what you have. And that's just where I'm at. Like, from an offense, let's talk about the running game. Now, Connor looked a little bit better. I think if the game played out different, there
was 4 men in the box. I mean, I could probably 30 yards maybe.
I mean, so there's hope there, but I don't think there's any chance Connor's going to be here either next year.
No, bye. I don't want him back.
No, he would be done. They got rid of one of your buddies today.
That one of the Evans brothers?
He's done.
Guess what? You need to pack the other one's bag up.
He's terrible. He looked bad too.
Oh my God, he missed so. I mean, he couldn't tackle air. He couldn't. If they pick up his 5th-year option, TJ, which I think is like $5 million, I'm going to throw up. I think they will do it just to prove a point because they said he's his number 1 draft pick. He stinks.
I think it's time to cut bait with him. He's bad too. And again, it showed us too. I mean, Highsmith looked awful in the game too. They just manhandled him. Looked absolutely terrible. And what happened to Watt?
Dude. TJ, I agree. Some of the biggest series in the game. I see. Marsh had me buffooned for one game. That dude,
he's not good.
Stinks.
He is not good.
Why is he the guy coming? Why is he the backup coming in? Why is it number 92 coming in?
Well, he was dinged up. 92 is.
TJ, I don't give a damn if he has one leg. Marsh, he made TJ. When my wife even goes, that dude sucks. I'm going. She goes, who's his 49? He stinks. I'm going. I'm like, yeah, he is bad at football. I mean, where was everybody? Minka, where was everybody?
It was bad.
I just don't understand.
They did something that I think that if Indianapolis would have done this, and even Cleveland in the other game, if they would have kept more out, they ran the ball. And then they ran it. We were struggling to stop the run. It's just the way that it is. It's bad. So offense and defense was all terrible. Obviously. It was, and again, I do believe you're right. We got out coached, but even more than that, I think we just got out muscled. I think they punched us.
You got out coached by a ex-Pitt quarterback that stunk.
I don't even know how much our guys, there's this heart thing. And we just didn't have it. We didn't have that killer. I felt like it was Rocky 3, and Mr. T just smacked us in the mouth and taking our girlfriend. I felt like that's exactly what was going on. And there was like nothing we could do about it. I felt like that's exactly what it was. Nobody wanted it enough.
They wanted it enough, TJ. They wanted it, and you could tell they wanted it at one point. Soon as Mike Tomlin punted that ball, you might as well just. In my heart of hearts, TJ, I believe they go for it. I think they're going to get it. They get it on 4th and 1, and they score there, TJ. That game is a wrap. The Steelers are going to win that game, and I think they're going to win it by more than just a touchdown because they're gunned up and they're sky high. Soon as Tomlin did that, you just felt everything and anything. Especially, you may have got it if Barry would have pinned him, but Barry can't punt because he sucks. He punts the ball out of the end zone, and you're going, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" TJ, if you go for it there, you get it. Tomlin just basically ripped. He basically said to your offense, "I don't trust you."
Yeah. And the defense wasn't doing enough to trust them either. So it is kind of interesting. Fichtner's his option. Their contract's up with him this year.
TJ, here's the deal. You bring Ben back, you have to bring Fichtner back. You have to. There's no way if anybody. What are you going to bring? A new play caller in with Ben? It ain't going to work. Ben has one more year left. If they bring him back. So
do you re-up a contract with Fichtner, or is
no,
this time? Is it time to cut bait?
I don't see neither option. I don't. It's either that or you let Canada call plays. I don't know. I heard a rumor very, very weird that Canada was calling the plays the last Cleveland game.
Really?
Yes.
Well, maybe they're prepping him for that. Who knows?
I don't know, but you can't. If Ben's coming back, if you're going to bring Ben back, you almost forced to bring Fichtner back, and it just makes me want to throw up.
I know.
It does. To me, I thought about this all day, and I'm kind of going, past couple of days, I'm kind of going, you got to bring Ben back, restructure the deal. If you restructure the deal, the cap's going to eventually go up, so the blow won't be as bad.
Yeah.
But then on second thought, I go, do you just rip the Band-Aid off now? Do you just rip it off? You have to rip it off at some point. Do you think you bring Ben back next year, that this team's even compete for – they can't compete for a championship. They're not going to compete for a championship next year.
No.
So I'm thinking that what's the point? Do you rip the Band-Aid off, see what Mason have? If he sucks and they're foreign, whatever, you draft somebody? I don't know, TJ.
I think if you got a chance to bring in a Darnold, or I know they've been talking about this Deshaun Watson stuff. That to me, that's extraordinary. I would give up TJ. Happen.
I would give up TJ. My first pick this year, my first pick next year. Take it all. Bring me Deshaun Watson. Franchise quarterbacks like him do not grow on trees.
You're right. Yeah, you're right.
To me, it's one of those things where what do? You trade for Darnold. What good is that going to do? He has a 5th-year option. You're still going to be eating Ben's cap money. I don't. It's either you rip the Band-Aid off, and when I say rip the Band-Aid off, I'm talking Ben, I'm talking Pouncey, I'm talking DeCastro. I'm talking you're going to have to cut Nelson, cut Hayden. You're going to have to cut these guys. I still think even if you bring Ben back, you're either cut Nelson or Hayden. I wouldn't be shocked if both of them go. I'd cut Tuitt too. Cut them. Just go. I mean, I don't know what else you're going to do, but here's the thing. If you do all that and you're rebuilding, you're basically wasting TJ, Devin, and Minka. You're wasting them. Because by the time we may have a resemblance of a team, they're going to be old. So what do you do, dude?
Well, I think you could probably, I mean, you got to sit down, you got to figure out, I think you're going to cut some people, but I don't think it's got to be, I don't think you have to gut everything for Deshaun Watson. I think that you can get him. Again, it's going to cost you something, but it'll probably cost you a first rounder.
It's going to cost you way more than a first rounder.
A first rounder and maybe a second rounder next year.
TJ, it's going to cost you, the safety for freaking the Jamal, whatever Seattle picked up. They gave 2 first rounders up for him.
Well, if you can get him for 2 first rounders, you take it.
TJ, for Deshaun Watson, you're going to have to give up at least 3 first round draft picks if you're not throwing in a TJ Watt. You the bare minimum 3 first rounders. I mean, you had people. I think the Bears for Trubisky gave up 2 or 3 first rounders to move up to get his. Sorry,
he's terrible. I don't mind giving up stuff for a true commodity. I think that Watson's a true commodity. You know what you get with him.
It's not the Steelers I'm about. You know they're not going to give up that much draft capital. There's not going to do it.
I'll tell you what. I was surprised what they gave up for Mika. They gave up a first rounder for Mika, which is very out of character.
But if you're Deshaun Watson, if you're giving up that much draft, do you want to come here?
Who's going to bring him in for less?
I think the Dolphins have have all the stock and capital to do whatever the hell they want.
They're going to keep Tua. They're not.
No, I'd trade Tua. You got 2 first rounders this year. Trade them. You could probably put another one for the next year. Deshaun Watsons do not grow on trees.
My gut tells me that they're going to figure out how to play nice in Houston. He's going to be fine. I don't think he's going to leave.
I don't think he's an option.
Yeah, I think he got his feelings hurt. I don't
think he's an option. I mean, but to me, what is Donald?
You need somebody that's got more potential than Mason. Although Mason didn't look bad last week. I mean, who knows? What I don't like about Mason is I don't like his. I mean, he's got the skills. I don't like his persona.
His stupid
on the field.
Fat face. That's what I don't like.
Well, that too. He doesn't have that. Follow me as I take the hill thing. He just doesn't have that.
No, his face getting smashed in by face masks.
Yeah. Well, you're right. I don't know. And let's open up the Yinzer mailbag real quick.
Oh, good God.
The Yinzer mailbag. What is the Yinzer mailbag? Is when you, the fans, get to ask us questions. Boy, we got some good ones here. First one in the Yinzer mailbag was this season a bust?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was.
Every season's a bust if you don't win the Super Bowl. That's the difference between who was that a mush question?
It's a mush question.
Yeah. That's a loser mentality. That's a loser mentality. You expect to win titles every year. You know who else is on the list?
Who?
All the Notre Dame. Claypool, shut your face. All he is a Juju 2.0.
He is.
Here's my thing about Juju. I love him. He does great work in the community. I want to ask you this question. Maybe, do you think he loves football?
I think it's his platform.
I want to ask you. This is a yes or no question. Do you think he loves football?
I'm going to say, I don't know, because I never hear about like his work ethic. I never hear any of that stuff. I think he likes the stars. I think he likes the lights.
And I'm not, hear me out, because it's just popped into my head probably about an hour ago. I know when AB, Le'Veon, everything started going to hell in a handbasket. Was that year 2 with Juju?
Mm-hmm.
That's when AB kind of started. Oh, I'm not going to say that. I was thinking because Juju came in with his being on Twitch, being on this, being on that, being on. Next thing you know, AB was like that on that crap. But I still think AB was a cancer regardless. But Le'Veon,
Juju, do not send them down to the dark path.
But I'm seeing Claypool. I mean, dude, you go on an interview and you say what you said. Just shut, DJ. You got beat.
Yeah,
you got beat. I'm wearing floppy I'm wearing socks. I'm wearing socks, his ears, and a nose. You get beat, just shut up. Just shut up.
Yeah.
And you know what? Somebody in that locker room, which irritates the hell out of me, needs to grab them too. And I'm shocked it hasn't been Pouncey and just been like, shut up, dude, or I'm going to stab you in the neck. That's what I would do if I was Pouncey.
Well, and here's the thing too. I don't think Ben's doing it either, and he needs to. I think he got gun shy with AB. Lead. No, but that isn't always been Ben's knock. Lead.
Yeah, but the guy needs Pouncey needs to lead too. Pouncey, if Pouncey tells me to go pee in the middle of the street or walk into 7-Eleven with no pants on, I'm gonna walk into 7-Eleven with no pants on.
Hayward, somebody's got to shake these boys.
If Hayward told me to go eat poop right now, I'm gonna go eat poop.
I know. Somebody's got to do it. I understand. Here's another question: is Ben done?
He's given me 17 years of pleasure, of fun. He is, I wouldn't say he's like Joe Namath, LA Rams done, but he is like, he's not top 10 quarterback in the league anymore. If you want to put him around 15.
Do you give him his last year on his terms?
If they had the same type of team coming back and weren't going to be in cap hell like they are right now, I'd probably say yes. I'd say give it a run, see what happens. But I just see no benefit of it. The more I think about it, it's like, what's he going to get? Where are you going to go? You're losing so many people. Unless they pull some magic crap out of their hat. I don't know. I mean, again, you play to win championships. Ben wants a championship. I don't think they're going to have the talent to win a championship.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they're definitely going to have to retool. I mean, they're still going to have some good pieces intact, but I think you bring up a valid point. I just don't know. Again, and maybe it's still part of his rehab. He's not the quarterback that he was, and you can't expect him to be. Next year will be his 18th year.
TJ, and I get that, and I just don't understand what earlier in the year they were running the ball. They run the ball fine early in the year, first 5 games, and they were taking pops downfield. What all of a sudden did the short game stuff? Why did that come? And here's my thing, like even seeing it, and I know those guys in Cleveland were playing prevent defense. TJ, he was zinging the ball. He wasn't throwing a lot of short crap. He was throwing outs. There's only a handful of quarterbacks that can throw in the National Football League. I don't think his arm is the problem. I think his knees are shot.
I think you're right.
I mean, that was the first time I saw him taking hits, staying in the pocket a little bit. He does look like a bear now. I mean, I saw some video from him early in the year. Early in his career, you know who he looks like? Without just moving in the pocket wise? Josh Allen.
Yeah.
He does. He couldn't run. He never could run, but just moving he looked like Josh Allen. Now he looks like a grizzly bear back there. Just
he's a statue. Yeah, he can't move.
I think he's better than Rivers.
Yeah.
If you bring Ben back, you have to change the offense. You almost have to do what the Broncos did with Peyton. You have to. You somehow have to have a running game, and I don't think next year they're not going to be able to flip a switch and get a running game. Even if you draft the dude from Alabama, he has to run behind somebody.
Yeah.
Unless you're going to do some miracle working with that line, I don't know what the hell you do, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it might be. I think it's a I think it's a tough call because Ben's giving you a lot of joy, like you said. I don't know. Here's another question. Should the Steelers make a play for a QB in the offseason? We talked about this, or stick with Mason. Do you think Mason gets a shot, or do you think they go get somebody?
I don't think you have an option.
Well, here's the thing. Is Mason a free agent this year?
No, he has one more year.
He's got one more year. Yeah,
I don't think you have, TJ, I don't think you have an option. With the cap stuff, I don't think you have an option. Because I think even if you say you go get in Darnold, I think he is on his 5th-year option, which is going to pay him like close to $10 million. Do you have an option?
I don't know. I mean, here's the only thing that's good. I mean, there's a decent amount of QBs coming out this year. There's some. I mean, it's a deeper
TJ,
class.
if they draft that kid from Alabama, I saw a picture of him. His body looks worse than me, and I'm a middle-aged man. I hope they do. TJ, I want nothing to do with that kid from Alabama. TJ, I'm not lying. I can't throw the ball more than 5 yards. The receivers that Alabama has, you could just close your eyes and throw the ball up and they're just gonna catch him. Dude, that receiver from Alabama, TJ, last night, the mush did me, and I laughed. I was like, I agree with him. If I'm his parent, if I was that dude's parents, that receiver, the one, the Heisman, I would have came down at halftime and been like, "You're not going back out on the field. You're sitting right here. You're not playing the rest of the game. I don't need you getting." And he got hurt. I think he got hurt in the second half. I'm like, I'm not playing. You're not going out. You're just gonna sit here. You're gonna be a top 3 pick. Just sit. Yeah. You're not going out there.
Yeah.
And then I saw like the backup that went in for him. The dude was torching. I mean, Ohio State has some players. I mean, this dude was just. I'm going. This is insane.
Yeah, Alabama's loaded. Tell you what, though, man, Harris would look great in black and gold, wouldn't
he? Yeah, he would. But I mean, you can't draft him in the first round. You have to get a lineman. TJ, you have to draft a ginormous tackle. If they don't, and they stupid draft some type of safety or something, I'm going to go nuts. I'm going to go banana land.
I would be okay if they went after him in the first round. I think he's got that talent.
No, there's multiple running backs they can get into the second round. No. There's going to be him. There's the kid from Clemson. The kid that got hurt for Ohio State's very good too.
Yeah.
No. You sit there. He's good.
Dude,
Don't get me wrong. He's good, TJ. TJ, if you're running behind that line, TJ.
But they said the same thing about they said the same about Henry and all these guys.
TJ,
does Henry need a line?
Henry.
Does Henry need a line?
That dude's not as big as Henry.
Dude, but he's still a pretty big guy.
He's a big guy, but he's not as big as Henry. TJ.
Didn't he break all of Henry's records too?
TJ, easy, buddy. Dude. Easy, buddy. TJ's Alabama. They're playing against children. I mean, easy. You need something in the NFL. You need a line. It's like you could put Barry Sanders behind our line. Struggling.
Dude, the Barry Sanders, those Lions teams, their lines stunk.
TJ,
they did.
TJ, that line sucks.
Again, I'm listening to what you're saying too.
I want to pack 78 bags for him. Like, get out of here, Villanueva.
I think part of its game plan too. I don't know. I think if you want to run the ball, you run the ball.
You think it's part of his game plan?
So this leads into the next question.
I think Fitcher's over there going.
How many of Tomlin's assistant coaches are getting axed?
Oh, all of them. I'm the Roonies. I'm going. Everybody's. Here's my big prediction. Keith Butler's going to retire.
Mm-hmm.
He's 65 years old. I think it's gonna be one of those forced retirements.
You mean kind of like the guy in Tampa Bay?
Aaron's. But I don't know what the hell Butler does anyways.
Yeah.
He
gives riveting press conferences.
TJ, I've told you he is a human shield for Tomlin.
He is.
So it's going to be one human shield. And I think what's going to happen, the guy Perry, the defensive back coach, he's going to move up to the defensive coordinator because one of Tomlin's buddies. And he's going to suck too. Fitchner, I think it depends on what you do. You know what I would do if I'm them? I don't give a damn what Ben says. This is where I'd force Ben's hand and say, if you want to come back, here's the way it's going to be. The dude that's the quarterback's coach right now in the Rams, that's who I'm hiring as my offensive coordinator. I'm firing Fitchner.
Well, did you see whatchamacallit? He got fired today too. Who's the offense coordinator for oh shoot, he was pretty decent actually. Oh, doggone it. They just got knocked out of the playoffs. Who is it? I thought, hey, they look great in black.
Oh, you mean the dude from Seattle?
Yeah.
TJ, if you couldn't work in Seattle with that offense that they have, you want to bring him here? TJ, Russell Wilson, look, he was running for his life half the time.
It's got to be better than what we had, man. It's got to be better than what we had.
You're out of your gore. You bring that dude from the Rams. The Rams, they're throwing up dudes from the XFL and they're scoring points. I don't know how the hell they're doing it.
I looked up Todd Haley. You know what Todd Haley's doing now?
He's just like assistant offensive coach, second line coach at high school.
At a high school in Florida. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. He didn't even stop and slow down at the college level. He went right to high school.
How do you think Bill O'Brien is? Bill O'Brien just got hired as the offensive coordinator to Alabama. You went from coaching the Texans, the head coach of Penn State, going to Texas, and now you're the OC at Alabama? Get out of here.
That's bad.
I mean, TJ, you definitely fired the line coach. Has to go.
He's awful.
He sucks. He has to go. TJ, I'm getting rid of the running back coach too.
Yeah, he's bad.
Because that dude, I think they hired him recently a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
The running back coach before him, we always had to have decent running backs. Even though they suck, they're gonzo. That dude stinks too. That's one of Tomlin's buddies. Get him out of here. He's gonzo. I don't even know who. Dude, I fired 90% of the people. Your special teams guy, get him out of here. I'm sick of seeing him in his stupid wad of gum. Get him out of here.
Old Whitey with his wad of gum.
Whatever he is, get out of here.
Yeah, it's bad.
I mean, Fitchner, you know what's going to infuriate me? It's going to infuriate me hearing Art Rooney Sr.'s end of year crap. Well, we were 12-4. North champs. We had a pretty good year. I'm gonna be like, shut your face. You guys were paper. You know what they were? You know when Lee Flowers used to call those Tampa teams paper champions? That's what the Steelers were. They're paper champions.
Yeah, they're bad. So do you think if any of those guys, let's say Fiegner and Butler, they cut them loose, does any team in the NFL pick them up for anything?
No.
They clear waivers like a rocket. They don't.
Butler's going to be, I don't know what he's going to be. He can't even talk to you. He's not even, I don't know what he's going to, Fitchner.
Fisher, he's not a good talker either, is he?
Fitcher's going to be a quarterback coach somewhere. Hopefully nowhere. Get him out of here. I'm so sick of seeing it.
Here's another question. It says Juju had a good game like last year. Does he stay or does he go?
TJ, I love the kid. He's done great for the community. I am ready to pack his bags myself. Bye. Bye. I
think you're right. I think it's time to say goodbye to Juju. I like Juju. I think he's a good kid. He's a great possession receiver. I'd say they say he needs to grow up, but how old is he? 23?
Yeah.
He's 20.
He's been
what were you like at 20?
He's been in the league 5 years. He's been in the league 4 years.
What were you doing at 23, Tim?
I was probably getting drunk and high somewhere on Saturday night.
What would you do if you were 23 and you had money, Tim?
If I had money, I'd be dead. TJ, I'm 40 and I'm sitting here with socks on my ears like a dog and my nose is painted.
Oh, how the mighty have fallen. What 3 positions do the Steelers need to draft next year?
Everywhere.
Well, we know they need line help. They got to get some line help.
I would waste my first, second, third, and fourth round picks all on linemen. All of them. All of them.
I think we're okay with wide receivers. I'm with you as far as like cornerbacks. I think we picked some of those up. In free agency.
No, yeah. Oh yeah. I thought you were saying draft. Oh, I was about to come through this screen and just throat stab.
Obviously, we're going to draft a linebacker. We always do. All right.
Get better, because if I got to see Marsh again next year. Well,
we'll get Bush back, but we don't know what kind of player he's going to be.
He got to be. TJ, he's got to be. Oh, I told you. What did I can't. I heard. I was listening to the Pittsburgh Sports Talk today, and they bring on Avery Williamson every week.
Yeah.
That decision was made, or they told him, you're really not going to be playing because you're playing Spillane. TJ, did Spillane look anywhere? He was getting destroyed every play.
Yeah,
I don't know if he's still banged up or whatever. TJ,
hey, you hurt a knee. TJ, I mean, it is what it is.
No, TJ, he stinks. He was on a practice squad in Buffalo. That's where they got him. They picked him up. He was on special teams. He shouldn't have been backing up. If that was their backup plan going into the season, shame on them.
Yeah.
Shame on them. He stinks. He's not good. He's everything we thought he was. He's a
He's everything we thought he was.
TJ, name the last great white linebacker that's not hurt every play and is just good at all.
Well, it's been a while. Dallas had a decent kid for a while.
Sean Lee, he played 3 games a year.
He did. He was not very durable.
Can you name one?
Jack Lambert.
I mean, Spillane. TJ, I said it the pregame. I was like, I have a feeling he's going to rip my heart out, and it's going to be thrown on the ground. And every time I saw it, TJ, he couldn't. The tight ends. Those tight ends were just. It's bad enough I had to see him on Landry, of all people, of all the people, of all of them. Landry. I'm going. Yeah. I saw that before the play even happened. I go to my wife. I'm going, oh my God, he's on number 80. What on Jesus's plan is going on? I thought that they were disguising something that, somebody was going to pop out of the ground and be like, no, I'm here. Something.
Was Allen hurt? Was Marcus Allen hurt?
No.
I know he was dinged up, wasn't he, a little bit?
He was fine. Where was he?
I'd rather see him on there, especially if you're going to see that.
TJ,
happen.
I would rather see I'd rather see TJ Watt out there. I didn't want to get that. That's one point I want to cross. What was he doing on the sidelines on some of the biggest spots, plays of the year, drinking Gatorade? I had to see Olaf and Marsh out there. I was going, am I on some game show where everybody's going to pop out and be like,
I don't know. I'd say having a guy like Bud on the other side of him does help.
Maybe it is Bud. Maybe Bud's better than TJ.
I don't know. I don't think Bud's better than TJ, but I wouldn't mind if there's a way to keep him. I think that'd be great.
TJ was going. Their star tackle got hurt like in the first quarter. He was going against a dude that was like,
I know. He
was bagging groceries a week before. He didn't get any pressure.
I know. They had no sacks. None.
They're saying Baker was getting the ball out quick. Pick your damn hands up.
I agree. They manhandled us. How about this? Next week, do the Ravens and Browns continue to win next week, or are they done?
TJ, one thing Claypool was an idiot for saying it because they got the
but
Chiefs,
it's true.
The Chiefs are going to clap them. I don't know what the hell that means, but they're going to clap them.
So who
what
wins?
What the hell does we died on the vine mean?
I don't know. So what do you think about the Ravens and the Bills?
TJ, I said this time, and I said it before. If I'm the Buffalo Bills, you better get all your table jumping through, fire table, cracking, drunk, breaking out of your system, because the Ravens are going to go up there, and they are going to TJ, they're going to manhandle the Bills. I'm not going to TJ. I don't think the game's going to be close.
So do you think the Titans are better than the Bills?
The only reason why I thought the Titans, because you had the vision of you had Henry and you had AJ Brown, which I don't even know where was he at that last play of the game. I mean, he should have been there. They're just big bodied. And I think that kind of matches up with the Ravens kind of. Buffalo, they have the corner. They can D up Diggs. Mm-hmm. They can put Peters on Diggs. They have the speed at linebacker with Willis that can match up when Allen starts going.
Whose defense is better, the Bills or the Titans?
I think the Ravens are. They're getting healthy, TJ.
No, I mean the Bills or the Titans defense. Whose defense do you think is better?
Oh, the Bills are better. But I mean,
I think Buffalo wins.
I don't.
TJ, I didn't see enough out of the Ravens that made me think. I don't think they dominated Tennessee.
TJ, Tennessee always plays them tough because they kind of.
I think he had a couple fluke runs
because they're built tough. I just don't. I think it's going to get Buffalo's going to get down. Or they better jump on them early. But I don't think it's going to happen. TJ, I hate to say this, I think Baltimore is going to win the championship. I just do. I have that feeling they're on an FU tour and they're going to win. They're going to go to Kansas City and they're just going to control the clock. They're just going to control the clock.
If they played Tennessee better, I would have said yes. I was surprised in how poorly they played against Tennessee. I know they won.
Okay,
but you had Jackson.
Okay.
Jackson was like superhuman a couple plays.
Okay, TJ, but Indianapolis played Buffalo tough.
They did.
They ran the ball down Buffalo's throat.
Yeah.
What do you think Baltimore's going to do?
I think it's going to. I think again. Here's the challenge. I think Allen is better than Rivers, and I think that if it goes to a score fest, I think Buffalo can put up points.
Here's the key. Here's the difference. Indy is one of those Tampa 2 defenses. No matter how you put it, they're good, but they're one of those Tampa 2 defenses. Baltimore's not like that. They're going to go after Allen. He's still young. They're going to confuse him. I think Allen's going to have a couple picks, which is going to be game-changing. I don't think they're going to be able to stop their running attack. I think Baltimore's going to be in the field 70% of the time. That's what the best offense against them is going to be running the ball down their throat, and that's what I have a feeling is going to happen. And you're not going to see too much. Allen's not going to be able to do what he.
Well, now that's all predicated on one thing, that the Ravens get up on them. If the Bills jump 2 on them, and you got to put the ball in Lamar Jackson's hands to throw, it's a different game.
We'll see.
I think it's interesting.
I think
the Ravens are. I think the Chiefs will win.
Their projection is kind of, to me, that's the last team I'd want to play right now.
I think the Chiefs will win, but I got to tell you this, man. I was very impressed with. So what if Cleveland goes up there, and they're able to move the ball? I mean, the Chiefs don't have a ridiculous defense.
TJ, I have a feeling the Chiefs have another gear.
They might.
TJ, look what happened when they got in the playoffs last year.
Well, again, the equalizer.
The Chiefs have another gear.
It's not just Mahomes. I think the equalizer for them is Kelsey.
Yeah, you think? And you got to. I mean, TJ. I mean, you got to do that. Basically, is faster than the speed of light with number 10.
That's true. He's kind of feast or famine. You're right. He's
TJ. He's ridiculous. I mean, he may be a dirt ball like Hunt's a dirt ball. I hate what he's running his mouth because he is a horrible human.
He is. I'm surprised he's still in the league for some of the stuff that he did. I'm amazed he's still in the league.
That's why the Cleveland fans love him, because they're all dirt balls too.
Come on, Juju, stop it.
You know what the worst is? Huh. Melissa has been doing this to me for the past day and a half. Corvette, just to piss me off. And you know what's making it worse? She taught Olivia to do it. Olivia's going, I'm going. Like, if we'd have done this podcast last night, there were probably about 4 holes behind me in this wall.
Well, I don't know. I think the Steelers have a lot to think about with the draft, and I'm not looking forward to seeing any more Baker Mayfield commercials.
You're going to see him everywhere.
I know.
I mean,
it just drives me nuts.
TJ,
he's got a very punchable face.
Yeah, he does, dude. He has TJ, yeah, he does. I can't believe the Cleveland Browns beat us.
I know. So here's the last question that was submitted. When do you guys start talking about Sid the Kid? You know, they play tomorrow night. Pens and the Flyers.
TJ, I don't worry about hockey until June, because you know why? That's what champions do.
That's true.
In Pittsburgh, we don't worry about hockey until June, because we're not losers.
And the Pirates are going to stink this year. You saw Bell. They traded Bell, right?
TJ, they're dead to me. I don't even know. TJ, I can't name you. If we should play a game at some point, name 3 players from the Pirates and you win $1 million.
How many would you get, Tim?
2.
I think if you say Gonzalez, that's probably a pretty good bet. You're going to get 1, whether they're on the team or not.
No, because normally Gonzalez are good. They probably traded him already.
Probably. Well,
is Tyon still on the team?
I don't know if he is anymore. He was at the end of last year.
TJ, the wise decision I made probably 5 years ago, I bought a Pirate jersey, which I don't know why the hell I did. I bought a Pirate jersey, and it just says 412 on the back. That's it.
So you got to go that way. You got to get somebody that's in the Hall of Fame, like a Clemente jersey or Star.
How big of a loser franchise are we that we got to buy jerseys of players that died 20 years, a million years ago?
It's bad. It's bad.
What a loser franchise. What a bunch of losers.
They had to let them sell it. Let them sell it. I don't understand that. These guys make money. What a bunch of I think you and I could come up with the payroll for the Pirates just between us.
TJ, I mean, unbelievable.
Lowest payroll in the league, Tim. Lowest payroll in the league.
That may be the lowest payroll in all of sports. I think some soccer teams are probably bigger payrolls than the Pirates.
There's a professional lacrosse team is probably got a higher payroll.
Yeah, a professional lacrosse team with a whole bunch of kids named Kyle. There's
a bunch of kids named Kyle. That's true. That does it for the Yinzer mailbag today. Again, if you got any questions, the Yinzer Bros. You can email us at yinzerbros@gmail.com. He's feeling chest pains. He's gonna have a heart attack. Tim, are you gonna watch any more football the rest of the year?
This is a question brought up by my wife. I don't know, man. I probably will. TJ, what else am I gonna watch?
Yeah.
I don't know. No, maybe I'll watch Trolls. I don't know.
Trolls World Tour. Huh? I heard that's a nice one.
TJ, I've watched Trolls. My daughter's on a Trolls kick. It's been on our TV nonstop for 4 days now.
I didn't think it'd end this early, Tim.
TJ, if you would have the first 10 minutes of that game, I mean, I was looking for a dark hole. There wasn't anything I could do. I didn't even have time to change lucky positions.
Tim, you did it. Well, so where was the Nutcracker at?
TJ, it was right here. As soon as they scored the first touchdown, it went right downstairs. I told the mush, I'm going to bury that somewhere on his property. Between this time, sometime, he's not going to know about it. It's going to happen between now and next year. That thing's going to be buried somewhere on his property.
Oh, my goodness.
I mean, TJ, there were so many things going through my head the first 10 minutes of that game. It was unbelievable. I had one of my buddies, like, immediately when it happened, was like, he tried to FaceTime me. I go, dude, don't ever do that again. Or I'm going to burn your house to the ground.
Yeah.
I mean, I just sat here. And yesterday, I just sat there and I was lashing out. I just sent a bazillion of texts today apologizing to people because I lashed out yesterday because I was so sad and angry. Like, and the thing that ticked me off was like, I was starting to get over it yesterday. Like, I went from after that game, like blistering furious. Like I've always said this after big games. I don't care whatever team you cheer for, if you're invested in a team, you go through different griefs. Like the first one,
circle of grief. Yeah,
it's a circle of grief. First one is like, it's pure sadness. No, sadness,
anger, sadness.
It's sadness.
Yeah,
and then you go through anger.
Yeah, mm-hmm.
And then you go through denial.
Yes,
and after denial, you get more sad.
Yeah, and
then you start perking back up. You're kind of going, you almost got to like listen to the sports talk where it shows get the people just trampling all over your team's face just to get it all, just to kind of say, yeah, we suck. And it's getting out. I was like at sadness phase, the second sadness phase. And then I hear Claypool running his mouth. It put me back into anger phase. So I'm still working I'm still working my way down. Like I got to work back down to sadness and then back up to okay.
Tim, you'll get there.
I don't think I'm going to get there, TJ.
That's why we have medication. That's why there's medication.
TJ, Sunday night was a rough sleep for me.
I went to bed. I didn't feel good. I went to bed.
TJ, I took like 7 melatonin and it didn't even dent me.
surprised you weren't down running on the treadmill that night.
TJ, I'm online. I took 10 milligram melatonin on top of some Benadryl.
Dude, that's enough to put down a rhino, and it didn't even mess with you.
TJ, it didn't even dent me. Like, it didn't dent me. My heart was, I was sitting there just, I couldn't believe it. And I have to hear, we died on the vine. We died on the vine. And I got to see Ben. It makes it even worse. I mean, I'm going to have to see that Ben gif for the rest of my life. Him sitting on the stinking bench with a tear rolling down his eye. Shit, just.
I know.
Them dancing in the locker room. Juju's Corvette. Juju.
It's okay.
It's not okay.
Well, again, they're learning. They're
TJ, obviously they ain't learning, because does Tom would just let them do whatever they want to do in the locker room?
I think he's a player's coach.
There's got to come a point in time where you're just like, enough is enough.
I agree. I'm with him. I agree. Hey, it could be like Belichick, who's, you look at Belichick, doesn't he look like the guy who lives alone, like in a lighthouse? Think about it. The two guys that made you famous left you.
TJ, I want a guy that looks like he lives alone in a White House. In a lighthouse as my head coach. You know why? Because him and Saban, all they care about is football. That's it. That's the type of dude that I want. I want a dude that's going to look and going to find rules to break that nobody else could figure out, because that's all they're doing is eating football all day and all night. Not dancing on TikTok.
Wouldn't that be awful if somehow the Patriots figure out how to get Deshaun Watson? Wouldn't that be terrible?
And they'll be like for like a third round pick.
Yeah, sure. For a third round pick and a beer vendor.
I'll be like, what is going on? I'll be like, you got Deshaun Watson's and Houston's first round pick for your third round pick? How does that work?
Oh, well. It's Gillette, it's the best a man can get. I don't even buy Gillette razors anymore. I can't, because of the Patriots. That's how sad I am, Tim.
TJ, that's how sad you are? Look at me. Just take a good picture of me right now. I'm hoping I get this black crap off my nose.
What is that, by the way?
I don't know. I grabbed something of Melissa's makeup and I just put it on my nose.
Let's hope it's permanent marker.
Oh, dude, I would be. Can you imagine me just looking like this
in all your Zoom meetings? Tim, what's wrong with you? Well,
I would have to suck it up. I'd have to suck it up to I got like some type of like disease on my nose,
like a skin cancer or something.
I would have to cut my nose off.
It would come off eventually, too.
Maybe I just go with it. Just get these socks just sewed on my ears permanently. Just walk around as a sad dog.
That's right. Well, that does it for the Yinzer Brothers podcast tonight. Tim, do you have anything to add to the festivities? We've gone for an hour or so.
Whatever, dude. It needed to happen. I don't know when we're going to do our next podcast.
It'll be at some point. We'll preview. We'll talk a little bit about the Pens, and we'll talk about Pittsburgh. And
I'm guessing.
And, hey, it's not that long before this stuff gets behind us. We're talking about the draft.
I've been hearing from a lot of people that they need a Yinzer podcast, especially a pre-draft podcast, and an after-draft podcast. Because the one thing you think I have been partially entertaining for regular Steeler games, you can attest to my brother. Draft night. I am
it's a whole new level. It's a whole new level of fun. We'll get there. I was going to bring Derek on with us too, Derek Gunn, but I didn't want to be humiliated.
Whatever. Why? I mean,
although Philly's a dumpster fire, they just jettisoned their head coach.
I mean, that guy. I'm still convinced he has thinking, I don't know, beef stew for brains, but I don't know.
I don't know either. All right. Well, that does it for the Yinzer Brothers podcast. I'm TJ. I'm here with my brother Tim. We're the Yinzer Bros. Don't forget, if you like what you hear, spread it to your friends and your neighbors. We will be back, I promise, sooner than you think. Again, we're the Yinzer Bros. Stay classy, Pittsburgh.
Yeah, we suck, man. We just suck.
We do. See?